Today, I'm pushed to my limit as I chase glory at the Centennial Park run. I'm going for a PB. I'm going to be paced by Sota Maehara, a 15:40 5K runner. Let's see if we can get it done. We're back at the park run, going for park run glory today. Today, I'm chasing a PB. I'm going to be paced by Sota. Sota is going to push me to my limits. The time to be is 18:20. And we're underway at Centennial Park run. Going for that PB today. The best I've done on this course is an 18:17. We're going to try and get under that number today. Whenever you go for a PB attempt, it's never easy. So one of the things that's going to make this one a little bit easier is having Sota alongside me to pace me. Sota is a fantastic runner. He's run a 15:40 in the 5K, so it's going to make a huge difference to have him pacing me. And you can see just how quick this start is at Centennial Park. We're flying at around a 3:35 pace here, and you can already see that there's quite a few people ahead of us, so we're going to run into some early traffic at this point. And one of the challenging parts of Centennial Park Run is the narrow start. We kind of funnel into this narrow area, so we're going to have to try and navigate this crowd. Now, in previous videos, you may have seen me try and stick with the parkrun leader, but that's not going to happen today. Today, we're going to try and run it at a smart pacing strategy. The goal is to try and run even splits. So in order to get to that goal time, we're going to have to hold around a 3:39 minute per kilometer pace. So we're going to have to try and hit that 3:39 pace on almost every kilometer. And let's see if we can try and pick it up, because right now we're already a little bit off the pace. You can see that we're dropping a little bit closer to that 4-minute mark, and we're gonna have to pick it up and make sure we don't lose too much time early on. Here is that part that I was mentioning. This is where we all kind of funnel into a fairly narrow area, and this is where it is possible to lose a little bit of time, and you can see that we're already having to navigate some of this traffic. Now, even at this early stage, I'm starting to tell that this is going to be a relatively challenging effort. In fact, it's going to be a very challenging effort. I can already feel that I'm working pretty hard, and we're not quite hitting the pace that we need to hit yet. We're still above that 3:40 pace, so we do need to bring it down a little bit. And this is really where the benefit of having a pacer comes into play. So Sota there in the tie-dyed shirt, he is dragging me along at this point. I kind of want to settle at a little bit of a slower pace, but Sota knows exactly where we need to get to. So I'm just trying to focus on him and not let the gap get too big, and Sota is tugging me along. The conditions today are very, very good. It's 17 degrees Celsius or 63 degrees in American units. And this is a very good temperature, so we're past the heat of the Sydney summer, and that is one thing that's working in our favor today. But one of the potential issues is the humidity, so there's a pretty high dew point today, and Sota was telling me this can have a pretty significant impact on running. Dew point is 16 today, and apparently we should be expecting a slightly slower pace, but that just means we're going to have to work a little bit harder to get the job done. And at this point, we're just nearing the end of the first kilometer, and we're going to come in at a time of 3:42. So we're pretty close to goal pace. However, we have lost a couple seconds already, and that's not ideal because we're going to have to try and make them up elsewhere. And as I was saying earlier, this isn't feeling like the easiest run, even though we're only at the first kilometer. It still feels like Sota is tugging me along. So this is going to be a struggle today. I'm really going to have to lock in and focus if we're going to get to that 18:17 or better.
Rowdy people have stolen the camera off John, but yeah, I reckon he can do it. We just need to, run smart, and then we'll get it done.
And as we're going along, Sota is giving me little pieces of advice. So at this point, he's telling me just to focus on rhythm, to drop into this goal pace. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do at this point. Now we're heading into the first tree section, and we have the first 180-degree turn of the course. These turns do slow you down a little bit. I think we probably lose 2 or 3 sections. So this is why Centennial Park is not the fastest park run. In its favor, it is pretty flat, but the negatives are these 180-degree turns. And there are some tree roots as well, and some uneven terrain. So I think overall, at least for me, it's probably around 45 to 50 seconds slower than what I might be able to run on the track. So it just goes to show how the course really does make an impact when it comes to 5K running time. Now, you can see that Sota is starting to open up a little gap on me, so he maybe has 3 or 4 meters at this point, and I really do need to close in on him. He's trying to get us back to goal pace. He knows that we've lost a couple of seconds on that first kilometer, so he is trying to get us back on track, and I am just trying to stay with him. This is going to take a lot of focus today, and I'm really just trying to focus on staying with Sota at this point. And the other person running with us today is Owen. Owen is there in that gray shirt. Owen and I are both training for High Rocks at the moment. And if you are curious in following that journey, do give the channel a subscribe. We're going to be posting a lot of High Rocks content over the next 10 weeks as we prepare for High Rocks Sydney. So Sota and I are making another turn now, and we're getting close to that 2K mark. Heart rate for me is sitting at 173, which is roughly the heart rate I can sustain for a half marathon. Sota is just encouraging me now to use this flat open area to slowly reel in that lost time and to start picking up some places as well. But in terms of heart rate, we are still in a good area. As soon as the heart rate goes above 180, that's when I know we're in trouble. So if you see it going above 180, that's when you know we only have limited reserves left. And we're just about to cross that second kilometer point, and we're going to cross it in a time of 3:42. So yet again, we're a little bit slower than goal pace. So goal pace again is 3:39. So we've now lost 6 seconds in these opening kilometers, and we are going to have to try and pick it up. And Sota again is opening a gap on me. He realizes the situation. I'm working hard. I'm trying to keep up with him. So we're in for a hard day today. And you can see as we picked up the pace right there, the heart rate did briefly rise to 177. So it is taking a lot of effort to try and get back on goal pace. And this is where, again, I'm very grateful to have Sota as a pacer. It would be so easy right now just to fall off the pace and relax into an easier park run. But Sota is really gonna pull me along. And you know what? I never expect a PB to be easy, and this is exactly how it should be feeling. Even though we're not even halfway through yet, it should be feeling difficult. One thing that's giving me confidence, though, is the training. So I have been hitting some of my biggest ever mileage in the last 6 weeks. So I've gone as high as 120 kilometers, which for me, I've never done that before. The highest I had previously gone was around 95 kilometers. So it really has been an increase in volume. And for me, I tend to respond very well to volume. So I know the fitness is there. It's just going to be a matter of execution today. And we are now coming up towards the halfway point, and we're going to cross the halfway point in a 9:21. So we are going to have to try and find some time on this back half. If we did the first half in a 9:21, that means that the back end is going to have to be 22, 23 seconds quicker. So we do need to pick up the pace. We do need to try and find some pace if we're going to get this done. And my eventual goal is to try and run a sub 17-minute 5K this year. So this is going to be a good stepping stone towards that. I do need to get used to working at this higher intensity, this higher effort. So this is a very good experience for that eventual push towards a 17-minute 5K as well. Now, Sota is not just a very good runner, he also has a YouTube channel, which I definitely recommend checking out. And one of the benefits of running with another YouTuber is that they get lots of film as well. So here are some shots from Sota. This is us coming into the 3rd kilometer. We managed to get it done in 3:40. So we picked up the pace a little bit. We're still about 7 seconds off where we should be at this point. So we need to start finding more time yet again. I know I keep on saying that, but we are a little bit behind at this point. This part of the track is a pretty good area to find rhythm, though. It's fairly open and it's fairly straight as well. There's a couple of turns, but overall, this is a good place to start making up some time. And we're about to come into the 4th kilometer now, and this one we do in a 3:45. So it's not good news, guys. It's not good news. We're really gonna have to find time in the final kilometer. It's still possible to get this done, but we're gonna have to close in a 3:27 or better. So considerably faster than what we've done for these first 4 kilometers. And we're now heading into the last 500 meters. I have found a couple of other runners to run with at this point, and they're pushing the pace. We're all encouraging each other. We're all trying to work as hard as we can. We know that the end is just in sight. It's just around the corner. And now we're heading into the last 300 meters of the race. 17 minutes on the clock. We've got about 1 minute and 15 seconds to get home. Let's see if we can do it. Heart rate now is 186, so that is what I thought was my max heart rate. 187. We've actually set a new max heart rate. Pace is down to 310 per kilometer, and it needs to be if we're going to get across the line. We have left it all to do in this last moment. Sota is doing a fantastic job getting the action. We now just have 200 meters left. I need to get it closed in 40 seconds. Heart rate is 188. These are numbers I have not seen before. This is really a lot of effort. I'm pushing with all I've got to get this PB. Nobody said it was going to be easy, and this definitely is not easy at this point. You can just see how quick we're moving. We're under 3 minutes per kilometer. We're 250 minutes per kilometer right now. Heart rate 189. 18:03 on the clock. We've got about 10 seconds to get home. The finish line is right in sight. Last couple seconds, giving it everything I can, and we're across the line right there.
Okay, guys, that was really, really tough. We probably did that in one of the hardest ways possible. We started at maybe 3:44 pace, so we were a little bit behind the target, and we had to bring it down all the way to 3:20 in that crazy sprint finish. And there's nothing like having to try and replace your camera midway through course, and that's something we did. Oh, let's do a race breakdown. What feedback do you have from a 5K perspective?
My plan probably didn't work the best, which is like to go out a little conservative. The parts that I wanted to go quick and pace on, like it was too crowded. People, I actually understand why the times at Centennial aren't as quick.
So there's a little bit of race strategy. It helps to get out ahead when you're coming to Centennial.
That's why running tips, even though I tend to be quite general with my running tips, there's still a bit of nuance. It's really important to know yourself well, know the course well, and I think John has a good understanding of that because he wanted to go out quick, but I kind of held him back a bit.
So it held me back. But we got the job done, and that's what counts.
When you race like that and you finish hard, it gives you a bit more confidence for next time as well. Because if you pace evenly, like 3:36 or something, you might be able to hold that the whole time and still kick down at the end. You have a better data point now, like a recent good effort data point that you can work off of for the next attempt.
And I'll be back soon for another park run. I still want to try and break 17 minutes this year.